Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics on a Monday afternoon as we check in on the markets. Real quick, we do have good news. I recorded a segment with Andy Schechtman of Miles Franklin earlier this morning. Is being edited and queued up. So, in terms of any questions on these reports of mints not selling metal, what's really going on, that will be coming your way shortly this afternoon. So stay tuned for that. Another great reason to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell as we see silver here at 25.80-ish, down on the day, if you can believe that, because that makes sense that while there would be reports of silver dealers running out of silver, the price would be down. Although such is the financial world we live in, I am pulling up the volume chart, so we'll take a quick look at that before we wrap this one up. Going to be a shorter video today because I just wanted to point out some more fascinating commentary from Jerome Powell. Today he was talking about cryptocurrencies, although I did have one other note before we start. This is brought to you by Kuya Silver. So if you're less into dollars, more into silver, and looking for a company that's going to be going into production soon, Kuya Silver could well be for you. And certainly something that is not for me is the advice that you can get from Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. Here, Powell calls for cryptocurrencies not really useful stores of value and says Fed will move slowly. Let's dig into this one, and I'm going to leave aside any thoughts whether you do or don't like cryptos, but just point out something of the economics here with Powell and his cryptocurrency thoughts. Reserve Chairman Powell says cryptocurrency is primarily a speculative asset. No hurry to develop a central bank crypto. They're highly volatile. They're not really useless stores of value, and they're not backed by anything. Okay, I mean, we'll leave aside that. Oh, wait, check this out. It's more a speculative asset that's essentially a substitute for gold rather than the dollar. Wow, isn't that special? So let's deconstruct here. It's more a speculative asset that's essentially a substitute for gold. So at least as I'm reading that, he's saying it can substitute gold. So does that mean that gold is highly volatile, not really a useful store of value, and not backed by anything? Maybe if I get into the Fed's next press conference, I can ask that. But I'll ask this to you, the viewer at home. Highly volatile, not a useful store of value, not backed by anything. Does that not describe Jerome Powell's own U.S. Treasury, that really the only reason that people buy them is because they just assume the Fed is going to come print more money and buy more, which is the definition of a Ponzi scheme? And here, let's look at the year to date. I mean, go back to, there's last July, 53 basis points, and the yield is at 1.68%. Just this year alone, here, January 4th, we see, let's call it 92, 93, 94 basis points. His bond market has been getting clobbered, and while he goes in front of Congress and says he's standing by ready in case there's an inflation deficit. Sorry, it's hard to say it without giggling. And the bond market laughs in his face. He gives his press conference. The bond market shoots up 15 basis points after that. But now he's a cryptocurrency expert, which is fine. And now he's a gold expert too. At least he understands more about gold than apparently Bernanke did. But I just point out, highly volatile, not a store of value, and not backed by anything. I'm just sharing my opinion. That's what I think about the dollar and the Treasury. Although if I describe my feelings in the dollar and Treasury like that, that would be putting it kindly. Along with that, the Fed has also undertaken other probes into whether the central bank digital coin would be necessary or practical. Why would anybody care about his opinion is what I don't get. I mean, I do get it. They've been conditioned with all this propaganda for years, but keep in mind, Bernanke, as subprime was unraveling, said it was contained. These guys can't see it even after it's melting down. Jerome Powell still hasn't explained why he started swap lines about almost 2 years ago, before Corona. I mean, he says everything's great. The economy is rip-roaring, yet you have to keep negative interest rates and QE going. So with all due respect, by all means, don't take my opinion on cryptocurrencies or silver or anything, but if you're going to take my opinion on anything, don't take this guy's opinion for it. I wouldn't trust him. That's just me. But anyway, on this day, and I'll be back shortly covering this Turkish currency deal. We'll just wait to see what's going on behind this one. But on that day where there's turbulence in the currencies, obviously you would expect silver to be down 2%. Here you can see the heavy volume of customers rushing to unload their physical silver, or no, COMEX silver, as you will find out in the call with Andy Schechtman. So a lot of volume when the price falls down. I always thought if paper currencies were experiencing trouble, that would be a net benefit to gold or silver. But obviously, the CFTC will probably be out with an explanation on what I am missing there, since they're hot on the trail of these markets. With that said, going to wrap up for now. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, or go ahead and share this episode so your friends can know Jerome Powell's great, insightful cryptocurrency advice as soon as possible. And we will be back with a couple more videos later today.